Hi, Jeff Big Daddy Wayne here with another episode of Big Daddy Knows. And I do. I share with you stories, tales, things that happen. I try to form a humorous bent because I am by occupation a comedian. One of the 10,000 or 20,000 we have now, everybody's a comedian. They get up one night at a little open mic stand, and I'm a comedian. And then they quickly go back to putting a tire on a car or cleaning off a table, going home and smoking some pot and dreaming that somebody's interested in their useless, foul life. Today I want to talk about a lady I met on the ship. And we were discussing the fact that I said there used to be a train of thought of do not give value to the valueless. In other words, something had happened in our society where they go, well, they have street smarts. Well, a lot of people look down on that because what are street smarts? You don't have an education, you have street smarts. You're like an animal. That's about it. You have the instincts of an animal just to survive. But there was, somebody said giving value to the valueless. And then I remember reading a book that I couldn't believe of somebody who had gone around and taken pictures and writings off of bathroom walls. And they were talking about how this actually is the work of people trying to express themselves, people in psychological situations. I thought, I don't know, if you're writing on a bathroom wall, to me, you're rather bored, you don't have nothing to do, or maybe, I don't know what to tell you. It's never occurred to me while I'm using a bathroom to write on the wall. That's not what it's for. And then I recently heard there's a graffiti museum that opened up in somewhere in Florida. Graffiti, that's defacing public property or private property. But this lady was writing a book called The Concrete Canvas about the art. How art, this is really art. It's really art. This is not, graffiti is art. Well, everything's art now. I guess you could take a shit and take a picture and somebody would go, I guess that's art. I don't know. People are finding all kinds of things and, hey, I'm just white trash from Kentucky. What the hell do I know? I used to think Leonardo da Vinci was an artist, but now he's some kind of actor or something. I don't know. Anyway, we started talking about poetry, and she was talking about the hitting meaning of poems and their subliminal and what. I'm not a big poetry guy. When we was in school, we'd have to get up and recite a poem. You know how excited we were about that. Everybody got up. I never saw a purple cow. I hope to never see one, but I will tell you anyhow, I'd rather see than be one. Then when I became a comedian, I learned a few little poems in the early days, It was in July or September. My feet began to sputter. I lay down in the gutter. A pig came and lay down by my side. A person who was passing said as may, you can tell a man boozes by the company he chooses. The pig got up and slowly walked away. It touched my heart. I don't know why. But, I don't remember this stuff. I can't remember this stuff. So she said to me, you told me that you wrote a poem. I said, well, I've been drunk once or twice. Well, more than that, actually. I said one time, I don't know, I was messing around and I thought I wrote a poem. And she goes, well, before you tell me your poem, let me tell you something. There's hidden meanings. There's psychological revelations in poetry. There's all kinds of things that people don't understand in a poem that today we're discovering. You see, everybody before today was an asshole. They didn't know anything. They're fucking idiots. The people of today, they're discovering. They're unlocking the hidden meanings. So I told her, wait, I remember another poem. King Kong played ping pong with his ding-dong in Hong Kong. She said to me, you don't understand what that's all about? I said, no, I don't. It's a silly-ass poem to say when you're drinking or something. Just rhyming. Oh, no, she said, you don't understand the psychology of the poem. You see, first of all, ping pong is considered a lower sport. It needs to be elevated. There's no high or low in life in anything. People, professions, sports, it's all equal. And ping pong must be brought up to the level of football, baseball, or basketball. It requires a skill, dedication, ability, talent. So she said this poem is to help get this into people's consciousness. Ping pong, ping pong, ping pong. What better to bring it into their mind than King Kong? Why? Because he's a giant ape. He's a giant ape. There was nothing bigger. And she explained to me it couldn't be Godzilla. His arms were too tiny. He couldn't do the back and the forth like that. It would scare people in Japan. Then I wanted, Godzilla was always coming back. They'd get rid of him when he come back. You would watch these movies, you hear the Japanese going, oh shit, he's back. Then there was Mothra couldn't do it. None of the monsters, but King Kong. So King Kong elevates, he's big, he's playing ping pong. And then, as she said, to capture somebody's attention, sex. Sex captures everybody's attention. And I believe that's true because Gore Vidal said, people are always interested in other people's sex lives because theirs is so boring. And I believe that's absolutely true. So, we bring in his penis. King Kong's penis, which has never been seen, but I do believe eventually a movie will be made where he swirls his cock around. We will see it soft and we will see it hard. They'll find a way to bring you King Kong's penis. I remember a joke I used to love. Joan Collins, for those older people out there, an actress who was rather good looking, but she went to bed with a lot of men. And a comic had a joke about King Kong having intercourse with Joan Collins. And he said, it is all the way in. Now, let me move on with this. So King Kong played ping pong with his ding dong in Hong Kong. And then she told me they probably had tried many other cities, Tulsa. King Kong played ping pong with his ding dong in Tulsa. But nobody goes to Tulsa. Nobody knows what Tulsa is. Dallas didn't fit. Ontario wasn't there. King Kong played ping pong with his ding dong in Rio de Janeiro. Well, it just doesn't fit. We go back to the rhyming, the ancient mariner, all this bullshit. Hong Kong, the perfect place. King Kong feels comfortable there, as everybody does. It's a cosmopolitan city. It's something everybody knows about. So she explained to me each level of this poem. And she said students could write papers on this sort of thing. They could turn out a 50 or 60 page paper. And I thought, I told her, I said, that's incredible. That's what we need. Kids graduating, writing papers about a stupid fucking poem. That's just what we need in our society today. And she said, I find what you're saying pretty offensive. I said, I find what you're saying pretty offensive. You're giving value to the valueless. You just came up with a whole scenario of making some stupid little ditty into this, this thing that should be analyzed, scrutinized, evaluated. And she said, I really am finding you way out of line now. See, we had been drinking, and then I said to her, there was a young man from Boston, Mass, who had balls made out of brass. He'd bang them together to play stormy weather, and lightning would shoot out his ass. Here also. Write your paper. Big Daddy knows. Subscribe.